Hi, and welcome to Ask The Animators. I'm Brian Curl.
I'm Timothy J. Ingersoll, and we are Ask The Animators.
And we're here for you to ask questions to. You know, we started this podcast with people sending in emails and asking questions, and we'd answer those, and we do some industry news, and we talk about our project. The last 4 or 5, we've been so busy because we've had all these great guests that have came on. We've had, John Pomeroy, and we had Aaron Blaze and Tony Bancroft. And we had Tiago, just great guys coming in and doing interviews, and we've really enjoyed having them. We haven't got anybody to interview this week, but we've got some exciting news that we'll go into here in just a little bit. But first, we're going to go over some of the animation industry news that's going on right now, and looks like we were going to talk about the future of Disney, of animation with Disney. Disney's current direction, mainstream animation, where is it going these days? Because they turned around and they did the new Toy Story 5, and they made $1 billion off of it. And, they're doing well, but then they're turning around and laying off employees. And so you wonder, what is affecting them to do that? Because usually when you see a studio do really, really well and make a lot of money, they actually hire more because they start producing more animation. So, Tim, what's your take on why that's happening in the industry today?
It's a good question. It kind of rolls into D23, which is a convention they have once, I think it's yearly, right?
Yes.
And it's all new Disney, like all the things upcoming, exciting events and shows and theme parks, auditions and whatnot.
Yeah. And as we're recording this, that's going on today. Yeah.
Right now. If you look on the news, you'll see there's a lot of hype and pomp and circumstance, but it's pretty cool. I mean, people get excited. Rightly so. I mean, Disney, they're the kings of this. But it's funny. Jon Favreau, who directed Iron Man, and he's a big director, and he's in it too. But if anybody knows about Jon Favreau, he's doing something called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Oh yeah,
and that's actually the precursor to Disney, to Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
he actually had that. That was his design. That was his creation. And then I forgot what studio kind of took it from him. And that's why he's on Mickey Mouse. Otherwise, we might be celebrating Oswald right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not what happened. So, but it's kind of cool. I'm so happy that Favreau, because he does everything he does is pretty damn quality. So to see and hear about that is exciting. And then, I think, they're trying to bring back some of the old stuff, like I forgot her name, Eric's.
Yeah.
Right, she's doing another documentary. It's more Disneyland, Imagineering stuff, but it lends itself well still back to the characters and what they're trying to do. I think that's what it is, Brian. It's like a resurrection of sorts. They're trying anyway. I think they realize that going back to the roots, maybe more 2D stuff, it can only benefit them. Because, like you said, there's no doubt you got Toy Story 5 making $1 billion. They're going to continue this gravy train, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, it's exciting. There is an ebb and flow to every cycle in the history of animation. So there's ups and downs, and the storm will be weathered. I mean, teaching an animation mentor, I got to tell my students that daily, you have to be realistic, but you have to be optimistic too. You can't have one without the other. Or you can, I suppose, but it gets lopsided. But the goal is to kind of, be open, don't put the blinders on, but also understand there's opportunities out there. And I think Disney is understanding that. I'm hoping. It seems like they are.
Yeah.
But
they get into, I feel like it's kind of a catch-22 with them, because I understand that when you have an IP like Moana or you have an IP like Frozen, you tend to go, okay, we've already got an audience for that, so it makes sense to go ahead and do all these sequels. But sometimes I think that the audiences get tired of sequels and then they want something new. And it has to be something new that's as good as Moana or Frozen, because they've done stuff that have been new IPs that haven't done as well. And then they go back to doing, sequels. And then they get into doing the live action versions, which to me, I feel like they don't know where to go with those. Do they stay true to the first story? Do they change it? If they change it, then people complain because it's not the same as the first story. And when Walt was here, he didn't do sequels. He refused to do sequels. And I understand that the studios already have that crowd, those fan base, so they want to do the sequels because they know that it's guaranteed money. But at the same time, they need to put out new original stuff that will be as good as that. And it seems like they struggle doing that with the new concepts, and so they just go back to doing the other. And I don't know what the right choice is for studios or for animators. I know that we've got a lot of creative independent animators and independent studios that come out with great animation shorts and features all the time that would do very well, but they don't have a place to put them, and so they're not working at a big studio. They'll have millions of dollars for advertisement, those kind of things. But if you were running Disney today, because you've been in the industry for 37 plus years, if you were to run Disney today, what do you think you would change?
Exactly what you just said. It's important to understand the sequels and their spot in this in a world. Really quick, I just want to backtrack.
Yeah.
So Brian said a word IP. Some of you people might not know what that means. Intellectual properties. I guess we just take it for granted. Maybe you've mentioned that before, Brian, but I mean, I think of everybody should know that. But maybe
some people don't. Yeah.
Intellectual properties is basically, they have the rights to it. They created it, and they're going to make a lot of money off of it. But I just want to double check with people, like some people might.
Yes, that's a good thing. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, but as far as if I was running Disney, and what would I change? I think exactly that. I think it's coming back to, new, fresh ideas. I mean, even like we did. I was at DreamWorks for most of my career. I mean, 20 years out of a 36 plus. But we did something called Puss in Boots, which was a spin-off, if you will, from Shrek. I mean, Puss was in Shrek, but he had his own little series after that. And I mean, that's an idea that the spin-offs, I would suppose, and it doesn't happen often, but I think coming up with fresh, original ideas, whether they're musicals, whether they're based on even toys, I suppose. I mean, if it's good enough, you know what I mean? If it warrants it, but it's. I think people are hungry for new because there is a stale factor. I think when you really, and then Moana, you brought that up too, like the live action remakes. I think people are really probably getting tired of those. I know they can make money because a couple of them did make serious money.
Yeah.
But this Moana kind of proved that people maybe not want that. It's like this. It didn't do well, and I don't know if it can recoup itself in the there's no DVD market, but streaming or whatnot.
Yeah. And it was well done. I mean, it was well done. Unlike they had some problems with the Snow White live action one. The animated dwarfs were a little much for some to take. But I mean, people love the classic. Whatever the first one is, that becomes a classic. If it's really popular, if it's popular enough to do a lot of sequels. And when you take that and you mess with it by making it into a live action feature, you take a big risk that you're going to alienate a lot of your fan base for that, because they like the original. That's what they love. That's what they want to see.
Well, I was on Little Mermaid, the original. And then they obviously came up with that remake. And I tell you, Brian, I talked to Andreas about this because he worked in it as well, Andreas Deja, one of the most legendary Disney animators. And it's like we both kind of went in with the stigma or this idea of, okay, I don't want to like this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like this. Yeah. Because the first one was such, remarkable, and it really changed everything. It kind of turned animation back into the golden age. Because it was that one and Beauty and the Beast and Lion King that really started the whole ball rolling again. Yeah. So to see that kind of diluted or bastardized, I don't know what the word would be, I'm thinking, don't do that. Then I watched it and looking at it from a kid's perspective, Yeah. And I thought, it was pretty well done. Like you said, even this Moana one. And, whatever brings people in theater and maybe that in turn has people turning into the old one. Like, oh, maybe I should show my kids,
right. They grew up. Maybe.
So maybe there's that transition or that, what's it called? A snowball effect where one thing leads to the next, domino theory or whatnot. And in that way, it does good for all of us. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm just hoping we do come up with new stuff. And I understand, the when you come up with original content, new stories, you're taking a gamble, like you said. With a sequel, it's a built-in audience. But when you got new ideas, that could. But then you see, think of something like Coco. I love Coco. I thought it was so well done, and it's such a special movie and funny and heartfelt. And I'm glad they didn't make a Coco 2? I don't think they did, but
no, not yet. Not
yet. But I mean, again, they kind of went out and they found a great story with great characters and made beautiful animation. So if they just continued that, that's what's going to keep them fresh.
And you and I talked about this. Coco was a kind of a takeoff of another movie that was The Book of Life.
Yes.
And so it was a different type of storyline, but had similarities. And so, you look at that, and I noticed that Disney Plus actually has The Book of Life on their channel right now, along with Coco. So that was interesting to see. And I'm not sure if Disney did that one or not, or if they just bought the IP, bought a licensing for it or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't do it. A friend of mine worked in that, Steve Cunningham. He's a mentor, animation mentor as well. But I mean, it was good. I I love Coco, but I think I watched a little bit of Book of Life when it. I don't think I ever finished it, but I don't know. Another book unread or unfinished.
These are all things that independent creators that are working on their own projects or independent studios need to kind of look at companies like Disney and DreamWorks and see what they're doing and see what they're doing that's working right and see what they're doing that's wrong, that's not working, and of course stay away from the wrong things and just copy the stuff they're doing right. They always say pick somebody who's successful and copy what they're doing because they know what they're doing and you don't have that experience yet. You can do some things on your own, but those are things you have to take a risk that they're not going to work. So so that's something to think about. We've got some news about I guess we were talking about things like Paw Patrol. That's a new movie that's it opened the 14th yesterday. We're filming this on the 15th, so it opened yesterday. It'd be interesting to see how well it does because parents repeatedly like to watch those kind of movies with their kids, and I don't know because a lot of times parents will go into a movie like that because they want their kids to see it, they want to watch their kids enjoy it. And then they find themselves enjoying it. Even though it's a kid movie, it's a preschool type thing. I've got grandkids. I see my son-in-law sat with my grandson on his lap and just laugh at Paw Patrol and Bluey and all those kind of preschool shows. So there's a kid in all of us, and so a lot of us don't want to admit, oh, I really like that, it's kind of like SpongeBob. SpongeBob was kind of that way for people. You know, it was a kiddie cartoon, but then you've got people who are adults that just love SpongeBob. So
the voices, the characters. I mean,
yeah,
really, really well done. Yeah.
You know,
I hope it does well. I guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah, you're a character designer too. You do a class on character design, and why would you think that simple characters can become so popular? You know, when I draw, I find myself putting too many details in my drawings sometimes, because I'll think, okay, that I love the look at that, and I'll draw it and I'll go, but it needs this, and then it doesn't look as good as a simple character. And so from your aspect of being a designer in that way, why is it that simple characters do so well? Is it because they're more readable?
They're readable, yeah. The shapes are so identifiable. I mean, you look at Charlie Brown, he's a circle. You know what I mean? And then his body's kind of triangular, I suppose, in the bottom part. It's very, very easy on the eyes. Yeah, like you said, I think a lot of character designers, we tend to want to put more detail, like just, and really it's stripping away that makes it stronger. If you look at like Snoopy, like we both love Snoopy. If you started adding more, little dots and his whiskers and on his nose, and you put all these extra things that just really don't matter in the end. Now I'm guilty of, when I do my character designs, I do like that, add a little more detail, but my approach isn't to make it more preschool, I suppose, friendly. It's the simple. I admire that. It's not my cup of tea, but I can see why parents and kids, especially the young ones, it's shape driven. So I have a ton of words. It's called out of shapes, which I kind of am right now. Yeah. But out of shapes means that's where good design comes from. That's why I came up with the word. And relation shapes, which is, I think, relationship with shapes. And it's just like how you put them together and how it just can become appealing or not appealing. But yeah, if you look at, like you said, like bluesy, these, and what we loved is Snoopy and Charlie Brown. It's like, there's some innocence, if you will.
And Mickey's head was $0.25 and $2, right?
Yeah.
I mean, So it's funny though, you think about these characters that are really popular, and they're ones that if you put them in a silhouette, we talk about silhouette in 3D animation and how we want a silhouette to read too. If you put those characters in a silhouette, you automatically know who they are. You don't need all the details. And I think that's the simplicity of characters. And if you're a character designer, remember that, and look Tim up, because he's got some stuff on out of shapes that are amazing. Of course, teaches the course at Animation Mentor, and it's an amazing course. Even if you're not going to take animation or 3D animation, Animation Mentor, if you're interested in character design, go check it out. Tim's got a great class. It's really affordable, and he'll teach you a lot. So,
thank you.
Little plug there for Tim.
Yeah, I'll take it. I love it.
And people are looking for family friendly animation. They're looking for things they can sit down with their kids with, and that they can put their kids in front of a TV and let them watch something. And shows like Paw Patrol and Bluey and those kind of shows where your child is being entertained. They might be educated about math, or they might be educated about government. It was funny because I was thinking the other night about when I was a kid. We had these commercial breaks that would be conjunction junction, and I'm just a bill, and these actually were animated shorts that they would show between the cartoons on Saturday morning that taught you about government, taught you about English, taught you about math. And you don't see that anymore. And I think that parents would love something like that, because we, as parents, we want our children to be educated. We want them to, learn well and not struggle with things. And I learned a lot from that growing up, that made me want to understand those subjects when you see it animated like that. So maybe that needs to come back a little bit. But
that's a brilliant idea. I love it. I mean, I hum those tunes sometimes. I'm just a bill. I'm only a bill
on Capitol Hill.
You know, funny, Brian. I was just talking to my son last night. He's in California and super smart, Berkeley alumni. So he's well read. But he told me something that blows my mind to this day, and he still says it. He goes, "A lot of my education, and I'm not from. I mean, a Family Guy. If you like it or don't like it, it's not for everybody. Not everybody's cup of tea, and some of it gets a little racy, I suppose.
Yeah.
But there is education. I mean, it sounds weird, but you talk about getting educated by cartoons. Mm-hmm. He's learned a lot of good, bad, and the ugly of life, but history and different things that he said he would have never known about. For Family. So it's like these things can be educational. You know, I mean, Family Guy doesn't go out to educate anybody. Believe me, I know. But they want to entertain, and with entertainment, I mean, if you're going to learn something along the way, why not? These ones that Brian and I are talking about, Schoolhouse Rock. I think that was it. Was it?
Yeah, that was what it was called. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you really do. I mean, that was their main purpose. Well, it was to entertain as well. Yeah. But I could see that making a resurrection. I could see, especially, well, we're going to come to our main topic today, I think, in a minute here. Yeah. But that leads itself perfectly a segue to what we're going to talk about in the big picture.
Yeah.
So, I truly think, and then you said something about independent creators, and maybe that could be one of their jobs, or not their jobs, but their missions, to come up with this. And maybe we could do that, Brian. We could start thinking like
we could. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you know, I feel like we are entering an age of independent animators and creators because with the access of programs that are cheaper and people being able to learn to run them at home and work from home and come up with great ideas. Storytellers are out there that have never been able to have access to an animator that they can email or contact on LinkedIn or whatever platform you're on and say, hey, I've got this idea for a story. And this creator says, well, I'm an animator and we can get a lighter and we can put this short together. That's more prominent today than ever. You can have a story, you can be a creator, and you can work with other people across the world and do something on your own. You don't need a big studio. And our biggest route of advertising in the world today is not TV commercials, it's not radio commercials, it's not billboards, it's social media. So if you have enough people all these people have their own network of friends, family, and business people that they're friends with, you have a large amount of advertising possibilities there if you can get those people involved in helping you with what you're doing and promoting that out. So today is a good day to live in the animation world, even though we see things like layoffs at the big studios and those kind of things going on. Even when you have these, the valleys that we talk about before it goes back up, if you get into independent animation, if there's a way to generate income so you can live and do independent animation, that's the way to go, because in today's world, and I hate to bring up the word AI, but it's there. and there's some things about AI I love. I think that people who are using AI for making a thumbnail or making a little ad, that's great, because for them it's great because they're able to do it and not have to hire a graphic artist to do those kind of things. But there's part of me, just like every other creator, that kind of puts the cross up and says, hey, AI, stay away from me, because it's getting better and better and better. And I see studios using it more, and that means they're going to use less creators. So if you're a creator, the only way that I see survival for the creators in the long run, with the independent creators especially, is if you have something of your own and not try to pitch your idea to Disney or pitch your idea to Netflix or one of these companies, that they're going to do what's best for their pocketbook. And if they can make a mediocre movie for half the cost or a quarter of the cost that they used to, because they can use AI to supplement some of the areas of the pipeline, they're going to do that because it's all about the bottom dollar with them. So, and that's where we kind of segue into what Tim and I are building. Things are different than they were 20 years ago. I mean, don't you think, Tim, that independents have such an opportunity now to do their own thing?
100%. Yeah, this is a golden era definitely for independent filmmaking, or shorts or whatever you want to do. But yeah, this wouldn't have. You couldn't have done it. You couldn't have done it even 10 years ago. I don't think. I mean, to the level that you can do it now, because it does. It's time intensive, time and labor intensive, and then it's all dollars, really.
Yeah.
And I think you want Disney, and you want all these places to have a soul, and you want them, but they're in it to make money. I mean, they got stockholders to be entrusted to, and they gotta make some money. But I think as an independent, you have ample opportunity, whether the software is progressing to the point where it can fill in the in-betweens for you, like these the main key poses and stuff like that. Yeah, it could be exciting, but it's here, like you said. There's no turning back. You can't unring this bell, and so that's just the fact. So we just got to live with that. And there's always been that. I brought that up, I think, a couple times ago. I got different, different threats, if you will.
Yeah.
But as an independent, and the fact that you can, like you said, Brian, you're the biggest advertiser, whatever, is social media. So if you get a lot of big fan base out there, you're marketing yourself. You're marketing your studio, your creation. So that's what leads us to our next topic, which is a big topic.
Yeah. And
drum roll, please. We're talking about Fan TV and
Fan TV,
FAN, Family Animation Network. And Brian here is the brains behind this. I just ride his coattails.
No.
You're the main, but it's exciting because it's perfect. The timing. We started this a couple years ago, and I think every day that goes forward, it's more relevant and it's more purposeful. So we're excited to give people a voice, to give people a platform to showcase their talents and their hard work and get compensated. Not just monetarily, but pat on the back. Hey, good boy, good girl. Put the spotlight on them. Put the spotlight. Brian's much more articulated in his wife. Give it to Brian now.
All right. Well, we've been working. I call it research and development for the last 2 years, because we've had to check into the legalities of certain things and what we're going to have to make this happen the way we want it to. And we've had to change some things from the original version that we thought we would do. We're probably in the next month and a half to 2 months, we're going to be launching our Founders Edition. The Founders Edition is not the full edition, but it will be everything that the full edition has on it, except for more content with the full edition. But it will be a streaming TV channel like Netflix or Disney Plus, but it's set up completely different on the platform side, because creators are going to be able to submit their creations. We can approve them, we can put them on there, and once we do the full version, full launch, then the creators are going to share in the profits. It's going to be a profit sharing station. Your profits are going to be paid quarterly, and they are going to be based on how many minutes or seconds of view that your product gets in that quarter compared to somebody else's that might get more or less percentage for their product that they've got on there. We're going to promote you as a creator. we have a area for creator spotlight, where we're going to do an interview probably once a month, just a short little 5, 10, maybe 15-minute interview, just talking about what the creators are working on, what they've worked on in the past, just so we can spotlight the creators. We've got a lot of different balls in the air with this, because there's so much we want to do for the creators, and also we want to do for our viewers. The Founders Edition is going to be an 8-month Founders Edition, where at 6 months we'll have the data we need to go to our backers and to look at our backing platforms and launch what we need to do to raise the rest of our money to launch the platform. So there's not a financial gain on the Founders Edition for the 8 months. That's where we need your help to send in your shorts, to send us your features, to send us and there won't be any financial side on these things, which are podcasts or tutorials, things like that, or your demo reels. If you're a creator, we've got an area on there for your demo reels. So people from studios or somebody who's looking for an animator will be another avenue for you to promote you as a creator, so people can find out who you are. And on the flip side of that, it's also going to promote that creative side of animation to new animators, kids that are watching this channel. So it's twofold on that. And so we're going to be able to promote you. Let's say that you have a few tutorials you want to throw on there, but you maybe teach animation on your YouTube site. You're going to be able to promote yourself through there. And we're going to be, with the Founders Edition, we're going to be available for streaming in 340 million homes to start with. That's a large amount of homes that could be seeing your product, your creation on our station. So that's what we want to do. I'm going to bring up I'm going to share what we've got so far. We've just started working on the platform. We're starting to download content to the platform. But this will give everybody an idea of what we're looking at. Let's see, share. Here's our preview. This is TV station. Here's our intro, and that's Fanny. That's our mascot. She was done by Tim Ingersoll himself. Okay, so we'll have a welcome part here, and we may change that. That may be where the creator highlight or spotlight will go. That way, when people pull up, maybe that will be the first thing they see is whoever the creator of the month is, and we can promote you that way. I don't know. We may change that out a little bit. Feature animation shows. The one we've got on here right now is Gulliver's Travels. It was done in 1939. I upscaled it and restored what I could, so it's in pretty good shape for high definition TV. So we want to make sure that everything that we put on there is as clear as we can get it. So we're going to upscale what we have to on the older stuff, but we do want to promote some of the older stuff too. Then we have some shorts. These are always fun. Actually, let me go to this one. This one's fun. We'll just click a little bit of it. And this was done by Blender. Blender has some amazing shorts that they've done that are open source. And of course, Blender is a free 3D program. But the artists that work on this stuff are doing an amazing job. I'll just run down through some of the stuff here real quick. We want to do Saturday morning cartoons. We're going to have some series. We want to try to maybe show 1 or 2 episodes a week of certain series, and that way people will have to wait like they used to when I was a kid. That may work out or not. As we do our Founders Edition, we're going to find out from the viewers what's going to work good and what's not. We'll change things as we go. That's kind of going to give us our proof of concept. So we know what we need to do to make things better too. And another thing is with the creators, we want you to send us ideas. If you've got ideas on what you think would make the channel better, we want to hear those things, and we want to know, I can't guarantee we'll use everything somebody sends us, but we're open to ideas that might make things better, because that's what we want to do. We want to make things better for the creators, for the viewers. We'll have a Sunday night feature. We've got classic cartoons, and we've got Baby Huey. We've even got some, there's some Bosco, Mascot, I don't know if you're familiar. You know what, Tim, a little bit about him. He was actually done by another company, and they got sued at the time because he was so much like Oswald and Mickey. He was very similar. And in that time span, 1932, that's when Mickey was, popular. That's when the sound stuff was popular, just coming out. And then we've got a place for podcasts. Right now, Tim and I, we have Ask The Animators, which you're watching right now. We have our podcast on there. We've got some other podcast people that have animation podcasts that are going to be putting their podcasts on there, and so that'll be fun. We want to promote 2D animation. We'd really like to see 2D animation really make a comeback. And I don't think it ever left. I think that 2D animation has always been there. It's always been a very artistic side of animation. But I think that the big studios, because that's who we talk about, that's who we see all the time, they found a money grab when it came to 3D, because it was so different and it made so much money that that's what they gravitated to. So it wasn't like 2D just disappeared. 2D was there. It was just in the background the whole time. And you've got a lot of 2D animators out there. When I went to Animation Y'all in Nashville last year, I saw so many people go up to people like Andres and John Pomeroy, and they didn't have an iPad so they could show them their 3D animation. They took up their drawing books, their sketch pads, and they showed them, what's on here. So I think that 2D really needs to be exposed more. People need to see it. New creators, kids need to learn that that's something they can do. It doesn't, they can do a flip book. It doesn't cost them anything but a pad of paper and a pencil. So we want to do that. Education animation. If you've got tutorials, like I said, you can put something on there. Maybe you've got tutorials and then you also sell a course. If you have an ad in that tutorial, it's going to be on there and people are going to see it. They're going to go to your website. They're going to buy your courses. We're going to promote you in that way. Featured creator. Once a month, we want to feature a creator. That's what I was talking about before. And like I said, that may go up to the top. I'm not sure where we'll put it yet. But we want to do just a short interview with creators that we have product from on the channel so they can be promoted and be put in the spotlight for a little bit. Creator demo reels, like I talked about with that. We can promote you as an artist. Maybe you can get some more jobs, and maybe you can influence the new generation of creators out there that don't know what a demo reel is. Animation schools, we'll have a listing of animation schools and information. I think that I've got a couple on here just to show. There's Animation Mentor and Anim School. Of course, we'll have other schools on there so we can
I was just thinking out loud, Brian.
Promote them.
Yeah. I'm just thinking out loud, like how to make it even better or more exciting for the viewers, at least from an animator standpoint, that we could even have a job postings area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We could. Yeah.
If we update it daily, it'd be a reason for then everyone to come back daily, especially the animators that are they're seeking work or they're looking for maybe an independent contractor looking for animators. Whether you look at the demo reel, but we can also have a site for like almost a job postings too. So that could be really beneficial. Pretty much. We could post. It depends. If somebody, say a small studio wanted to promote what the project is, you click that. Like you see, okay, this company or studio in Turkey is looking for 12 animators. Yeah. And here's the project. You click on it. There's a link to that. Like, do I really want to work on this, or am I excited about it? So I'm just thinking out loud.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
really good idea. And so Board of Creators, this is Tim and I are on there right now. We're talking to some other people in the industry. We want to have people who have had years and years of experience in the industry to be on our Board of Creators. And this would be a board of people who have worked in the industry for a long time that we can shoot ideas off of and get some feedback from other people in the industry, because we know that we don't have all the answers. But when you put a lot of people together who have been in the industry for a long time, they're going to be able to help us with some of the things that we don't understand and maybe come up with some ideas that we hadn't thought of to make things better. So that's where we're at on the Board of Creators. Like I said, we've got some openings there. We're talking to some people. If you've been in the industry for a long time and you want to be part of this new platform to help build it, we'd love to talk to you about what would be in it for you as a board member on the Board of Creators. So anyway, just reach out to us at that point. Special promotions, we're going to have giveaways, we'll have contests probably once a month, just like we do here on Ask The Animators. If you drop us an email and say animation contest or a contest in the comment line, we're going to put you in for a drawing, and once a month we give away some really neat 2 and 3D animated gifts. So make sure you do that. And then anyway, that is pretty much our station right now. There may be some things we add, like Tim was talking about, maybe a job board that would be for animators, So, but we're going to be in 340 million plus homes worldwide when we launch this Founders Edition. Now, here's the thing. As a creator, you're going to want to help us promote it, because you're going to be a founding creator. You'll get a certificate, digital certificate you can print out. You'll also get a little badge you can put on your website if you want to. You're going to get a lot of perks. If you are a founding creator and you've got product already on the Founders Edition, well, you're automatically going to be on the full edition when we launch. The full edition, like I said, there's going to be payment every quarter to our creators that'll be based on percentages of our profits. So that's something that we're looking forward to. We've got it set up in our business plan for there to be a slush fund so we can start putting back money. So at some point we can start helping finance projects for our creators. This is all about giving something to families that they feel good about watching, and then it's also about promoting you as a creator and spotlighting you and letting people know who puts all the work into these wonderful animated shorts and features. And, if you got background video that shows what you did when you were making a short or a video, we want to promote that. We want people to see it. We want people to know who you are. I always go back. I've been in the music business for 25, 30 years. And I always go back to an animator is kind of like an animator, anybody in the pipeline, animators, riggers, lighters, all those people. They're kind of like songwriters, because songwriters will write a song and everybody knows who the artist is who sings it, but nobody knows who the artist is who wrote it. And the one that wrote it put all the work into it, really. So, not that the singers don't put work into it, not that the voice actors and the directors and the producers don't, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty hard work that's done to make something happen, it really is the animators and the riggers and the lighters and everybody in the pipeline that make it happen as a group. I mean, everybody works together to make that happen. So we want to really spotlight everybody. We've got some really neat stuff going on. We're going to ask the creators that come on board to help us promote that to the viewers. We're going to do, on the Founders Edition, we're going to do a pre-launch sign-up for viewers, for subscribers, and the first 2,000 subscribers will get a 8-month subscription for free for the Founders Edition. They'll be able to sign up. They'll get a free subscription for the 8 months. There's some other perks that they'll get. They'll get a certificate too, and they'll also get a badge, a digital badge, to show that they're supporting us and that they're helping us. After the 2,000, we're going to charge a $2 a month, $16 for the 8 month of the Founders Edition. fee just to kind of help cover some of our costs there. But after that, if you're a founder, whether you be a founding creator or a founding subscriber, when we launch the full launch, one of the perks you're going to get is a 30% discount on a full year of subscription for this channel if you want it. So, and there's going to be some other perks too. There'll be some gifts, some things like that we're going to do for our creators and our subscribers. So we're coming along really well with it, but we do shorts or features or podcasts or tutorials or a demo reel. If you have an amazing demo reel and you want everybody in the world to see it, well, we'd love to put it on our channel on the Founders Edition and feature you for 8 months. There's no obligation. If you decide you want to pull it off at any time during the Founders Edition, we will do that. And if you decide you don't want it on the full version when we launch, that's going to be up to you too. So, that's our big news is we're getting close. We're getting close to doing this, but we need support from creators for all of us to come together at this point and build something of our own. We do want to try to build a community at some point. We'll figure out how we're going to do that to where there's a listing, probably not on the channel, but maybe on our website, which is www.familyanimators.net, where creators can go in and we can have a database to where you can go in as a storyboard artist and a writer, and you're looking for animators and you're looking for riggers or you're looking for a 2D artist, 2D animator, and you're going to be able to find them on there and reach out to them and talk to them about working with you on your project. So those are all things that we've got on the plan. We hope that you'll join us and just reach out to us. You can reach us here at Ask The Animators at gmail.com, or you can contact us at info@familyanimations.net. So we hope to hear from you. We hope you enjoy what we're trying to build. Tim and I, we're really excited about it. We think that it is definitely the time for us to have our own platform that we can control as independent creators. And this, in our mind right now, this will never be a public company. It will always be independently owned. So we won't have a board of directors that are telling us that we can't run it the way we want to. And we want to have feedback from the creators and from our viewers. We want to do what it's going to take to make this the best channel, make it as good or better than anything out there. So we want it to be the home of family-friendly animation. So, Tim, you got anything on that?
No,
I just go on and on and on, don't I? I get excited about it. I really do.
Yeah, that's good. Love the passion, man. Well, everybody, stay tuned. We got more amazing stuff on the horizon. And until we meet again, happy
animating.
Thanks, everybody.